Hi, this is Chatterboxing. I'm Sean. I've got my man Monnie Brown with me again here today. It's been quite a while since we've done this, so we're gonna do another show for you lot today. How's it going, Monnie?
Going good, going good. Ready to bless shot with this good boxing knowledge. Happy to be working back with my man Sean again.
Yeah, man, we've got quite a few good ones to talk about today. Start off with the heavyweights from the UK, and obviously we've got the fights: Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter, Luis Ortiz was back yesterday. There's a few things that we've got to talk about. So, should we get started with the Derek Chisora, Carlos Takam?
Man, that'll be great. One
Yeah,
hell of a fight. One hell of a fight. Like I know a lot of people doubted Derek Chisora. I know a lot of people counted him out, but I will take this credit. I did say Derek Chisora would beat Carlos Takam. I didn't know he would knock him out like that, but I just like Derek Chisora, man. I like his gutsy style, I like his grittiness, and we know he getting up there in age, and we know he been through wars, and this was like almost a last limb for him. You know what I mean? So if he would have lost to
yeah.
Takam, it would have pushed him back. But
Yeah, I was really happy for him, mate, because he's like you say, he's literally fought everyone, hasn't he? I mean, he hasn't
man,
always won, but if you look at the people on his record, he's fought Tyson Fury twice, Vitaly Klitschko, he's fought
David, hey,
David Pulev, Dylan White.
Dylan
I mean,
White,
he was actually he signed up to fight Vladimir Klitschko twice, but Vladimir pulled out. I
yep,
think he didn't really fancy it personally, but we don't know that. But he's been willing to fight everyone, and he's always been in good fights, hasn't he? A couple of times he hasn't really given that good an account of himself. But the fight against Vitaly Klitschko was probably the best fight anyone's given him, really, since Lennox Lewis that I can
that's true.
remember.
That's true. Cause I say it's some fights that he get up for, and I think it's some fights where he was just being pretty damn lazy. You know what I mean? He's just, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna try to bully him, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. People count him out anyway, and I think he used to use that mentality going in there, like not giving a damn. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But this fight with
Yeah,
Taka, you can tell, man, he worked his ass off because he was in some damn good shape. Because they was landing great shots on each other, great body shots, and he was getting tired. He was leaning on the ropes, but the thing was the grittiness in him. He didn't give up, and he just kept trying. Like when Takam get him on the rope, like you say, Takam was hitting him with some hell of a shots, and he was taking it. But you can tell, like he'd get up off the ropes, he'd catch him with something, and he'd start getting right back on him. I remember, I forgot what round it was. Could have been the sixth round. Well, I thought Takam had him hurt kind of badly because he hit him with a
yeah,
shot that knocked his head back, but he was on the ropes. And when I
yeah,
thought, and the ref was sitting up there looking like, I'm like, please don't let the ref stop this fight. But he came back and he fired some things at Takam, and it looked like it hurt Takam a little, but he jumped on him and he got the firing back. That's how I knew. I said, yeah, Chizora's heard the fight, man. He heard the fight, and he gave a damn good showing of himself and came out, caught him in an eight with a beautiful shot on the cranium. He got up, caught him with one on the chin, and that was all she wrote, man. Derek Chisora put his name back in contention with a title shot. That was a 12-round fight. So I do believe he deserved a shot on his way out. I do believe it. What about you, Sean?
yeah. I mean, I thought that I thought he was going to be stopped. To be honest, like before, like you say, that time when he was in the corner on the ropes, he was taking a lot of punishment, and he was taking some punishment really from the first round, wasn't he? Like
Yeah,
Takam just came out like guns blazing, and like he's a physically very strong man, Takam. For him to be able to pin Chisora on the ropes, just start like teeing off on him like that, I could tell like, he's got some serious power. Those punches, just physical strength as well, just wearing him down. So that was
true.
going on for quite a few rounds. I mean, Chisora was landing some good punches, but Takam was landing like the harder punches, the more meaningful
The,
ones. And
yep,
I thought Chisora was going to get stopped. So when he pulled that out, to be fair, that the crowd was really getting behind him. Like you could hear like that was nice to see as well because obviously he hasn't fought like he has fought like against Dylan Whyte with the big at the O2 when they had that. But for him to be, he's always come in really as like an opponent. We fought against
the,
Tyson
yep,
Fury, we fought against Dylan Whyte, David Hay. He's
David
always
Hay.
been, yeah, like people have always sort of favoured the other one. So for him to get that kind
And
of
he always
support
was
was,
like the bad guy, even going into the fight to where the fans
yeah,
weren't really, cheering for him. They was going against him. So, like you say, that was a beautiful thing to see, man. The crowd get behind, and you could tell he was taking it all in. And like
yeah,
for him, if that could have been the last fight of his career, that would have been a proud moment. Which he got another shot. But just to get that, to embrace that love from the UK fans, man, like it was a long time coming for that, man, for
yeah,
Chisora.
he deserved it, mate. Definitely. I'll never
So
forget that. I was watching with a mate last night. We were going mental like when he knocked him down, because we were like saying, "Come on, like down," and he basically pulled off that mad punch and then just followed it up straight after. I was saying, I'll
Man.
never forget that time when he just caused mayhem in Germany that time. Do you remember? He went there like slapped Vitali at the
Oh
weigh-in,
yes, yes, yeah,
spat
yeah.
water in like Vladimir's face, kicked off with David Haye, had a mad like punch up at the press conference, then started threatening to shoot him. Just pure
Exactly.
madness,
Him and Dylan
quality.
Whyte. You want to go on road? You want to go off road? Don't say you want to go off road. I know what that means, but that's why I say I used to be nerd. I'm like, man, I used to be scared of Derek Chisora. I'm like, damn, that dude just like he just mean
Yeah,
as hell. Which
yeah,
that's really not Derek Chisora. You know what I mean? It's like that's him when it's in fight mode. But you know, he always
yeah,
got another good side to him, man. If you get to know the dude, I just got to study him, man. I got to see that he's really a cool dude. But when
yeah,
it's fight time, man, Derek Chisora, he can go different places, man. Throwing tables and
yeah.
chairs.
That was legendary. That Vitali Klitschko, like when he just slapped him,
Oh
and
yeah,
then like
just
with the thing
slapped
with
him.
Vladimir, and then just went all because people at that like Vitali Klitschko was very very feared, wasn't he?
Did him and
He
David
was
Haye
just
tear it up too, if I'm not mistaken?
yeah. David Haye turned up in the press conference and started like arguing with the manager of
The
Klitschko, and then
manager, right?
like Chisora just went down and they had a bit of a punch up, and David Haye sparked him, I think. And he
I
just
think he
walked
did.
in, yeah, and then he had it with a few of them. I mean, that was classic. That so like Derek Chisora's, he's been a good character around boxing. He's been matched very tough. He went out to fight Robert Helenius. I remember quite young, like when he was out in on the road again in Finland, wherever he's from.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He hasn't messed about. He's had some tough fights. So I don't know how old he is. I think he's like 34 or something. But he's had
I
a
think
very long
yeah.
career.
Yeah, and you know in boxing to have them tough wars like that, it put extra age on you. You know, so and
Yeah,
I remember was it Joey Joyce trying to get the fight with him? He like
yeah,
you ain't big enough. We bet the person. I think he did the right thing, man, by taking the Takam fight because that was a bigger name. Not saying Joyce is not
yeah.
a big name, but Takam is the bigger name, and the way he
All
finished the
right.
man, it's just that was
Yeah.
unbelievable, man. And I gotta salute
Well,
him for that.
Joe Joyce is going to have it. He's going to have difficulty like, getting fights, isn't he? Because I mean, he's got nothing. But he's like on paper, he's a novice, but he's
Yeah,
actually pretty good, and he's an absolute unit. He's
it's
obviously very.
it's
He's a lot
it's
more.
low reward, high risk type of fight.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, and also like Derek is always quite a proud man. I don't think he really liked David Haye, like his style, like trying to basically, like, just sort of put. Do you know what I mean? He didn't really like the way they went about it. So then he was just like, no bollocks, not having
Yeah,
that.
that's true
And obviously,
too.
like actually, I was arguing with a mate about it. He was saying, oh well, he shouldn't fight Joyce. He's got better options. And I was saying, oh no, he's not going to get that sort of money. And he's proven us wrong, really, isn't he? Because he obviously had gone in there, fought a bigger name, like you say, and knocked him out. And
And
like
knocked
even
him out.
Joshua couldn't do that to him.
That's true,
Do you
man.
know what I
I
mean?
said I
I mean,
said that too in my video. I said Joshua couldn't knock him out.
yeah, I mean,
Couldn't
Joshua's
didn't knock him down.
pretty questionable.
Man.
I mean, to be fair, Joshua won most of the rounds, but still, the stoppage was questionable.
Yep,
That
that's
was
what.
just
Yep,
form,
man.
some of that.
That's true. Because when he stopped, a lot of people said it still could have carried on. They said they didn't want
Yeah,
to stop his knockout streak and things like that. But Joshua, yeah, like me myself, I did see Joshua like dominating the fight. And I was saying I was okay.
yeah, he was.
I wasn't like mad at people for saying that about the stoppage. I was okay with the stoppage because I see where they was going with it. Because it looked like
Yeah,
when you see it's like you didn't see Takam ever put him in danger to land that big shot. Don't get me wrong, one shot could change everything. But I just, if you had to ask me and I had to put $1,000,000 on it, Takam don't land a big shot to stop Joshua. And I think it was for us. Why let him take more punishment? And not saying Joshua was beating his ass like punishing him, but he was outboxing him and winning the rounds clearly. So it was a questionable
yeah.
stoppage, but I understood what was going on. I understood it.
Yeah, when it happened, I thought, oh, that's a bit of a piss take. But like in hindsight, it was a bit over blown out of proportion. It wasn't that bad a stoppage. It was
Yeah,
certainly not worse. But still, Derek Chisora has done a better job on him than Joshua did, which is because everyone thought Chisora was finished. I thought that he wasn't going to win this fight. I thought that he sort of wasn't really that motivated anymore. He's been around too long. Like the last fight I saw him have in, I think it was like Monaco or something. He fought against some German prospect. Didn't
uh-huh.
really give a very good account of himself. I think he sort of fought a couple of journeymen, really low level since then, or at least one, but he hasn't really looked like he used to. So this one, he really was up for it, and Yeah, it's good to see. What do you reckon he should do now then?
So that was my next question. I can say, man, when you look at the things lining up, I believe he deserved a fight with another contender. You know, like who knows who's out there for him, man. Jarrell Big Baby Miller. You know,
That's a
like that's a good one for Jarrell that he can get tested. Um, I know it ain't gonna be the pull up. Do pull up got a fight signed yet?
yeah, he fought Pulev already, didn't
Yeah,
he?
but I think now it's shit. Well, I know people don't like rematches, but I'm just looking at the top. You know, just looking at the top who we can line up with. You know, which people probably don't want to see the Pulev fight again, but I
Possibly the
won't mind
Dylan
seeing
Whyte
it.
rematch.
Which rematch?
Dylan Whyte, probably, or possibly.
Yeah, I won't be mad at that one, but I think Dylan Whyte got his eyes set on Joshua. You know, like if Wilder don't get the fight, I really do believe Whyte is next. If Joshua was to beat Klitschko, I mean not Klitschko, sorry, Povetkin, I do believe Dylan Whyte with the performance he just did with Parker, and we about to talk about that. I believe he deserved it.
Yeah,
Like I'm not gonna lie. Like if Wilder's not next, and if Dylan Whyte don't fight Wilder, you know, I believe Dylan
yeah.
Whyte do deserve the fight. I can't knock it. I can't knock it. But
I
with
mean,
Chisora, there's a few options out there for him, man. Like I said, I will love to see him against Big Baby Miller though. I think that'd be a good matchup. And Eddie Hearn can make that happen.
him against Jarrell Miller.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good. I think I'd favour Jarrell Miller in that. To be honest, yeah.
Look, I favor Jarrell Miller, but I say this: Jarrell Miller don't have like I like Big Baby, man. I follow him on Instagram. Good dude, good
Yeah.
dude. I don't see the power in him. You know what I mean? Like for him to be that big, I don't really see the real big knockout power. But I think Chisora can push my dude. I do pick him to beat Chisora. Don't get me wrong, but I think the Chisora got a chance with the grittiness and the toughness to push Big Baby and
Yeah,
and maybe land a beautiful shot and get lucky. Who knows? But I picked Big Baby to win. But I know that's a fight. Like this would be Big Baby Miller toughest fight to this date. You know, I believe this would be
yeah,
his toughest fight if he fights Chisora in his biggest fight. And I do believe that fight will, set him up for something bigger. You know, once you look at the thing, he didn't fight Pulov. He should have fought Pulov, Jarrell Miller. I don't know why he didn't fight him for whatever reason. So
I
take
mean,
the fight with Chisora.
I think Miller didn't fight Pulev for the same reason that Dylan Whyte did. Obviously, Dylan Whyte had more options, but I think the IBF they get for some reason they give 75% of the money to the person who's higher ranked and 25% to the next one. So basically, you
Are you
get like 25% of the money going to fight
seriously?
in Bulgaria. Yeah, yeah. That's what I
Oh, that's
mean.
why.
So I think this it's not really that attractive, is it?
At all. No, not see. I didn't know that. That's something new to me. No, that's not attractive at all.
I mean,
Now I see why people backing down.
if you're the champion, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Like you're
Right.
investing in yourself to try. But if you're like between two contenders, I don't see why
Exactly,
one
bro.
gets 75% and 25. What's that all about?
Yeah, I think that should be for the champion. But when you talking about contenders, like even if
Yeah,
they higher rank, oh no, no, that'll have people running out the IBF. I'm sorry.
yeah. And then to go like and also to go to Bulgaria to do that. I mean, if you're Dylan White, you can
Exactly,
fight against Josie Parker. Or he could have fought Ortiz as well.
and make more money.
Yeah, loads more money and fighting in London instead of Bulgaria. Do you know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Or in the
Yep.
case of Big Baby Miller, he could be fighting in New York, isn't he, against Spilka?
Against Pilker.
I
Yep.
think that's what
What
he's
you
doing.
what you think about
Yeah.
Louise Ortiz and Big Baby? I mean, not Big Baby. Louise Ortiz. We know what Louise and Big Baby would be a hell of a fight, but Louise Ortiz and Chisora. Louise Ortiz and
Yeah,
Chisora, which I don't know if Eddie
yeah,
Hearn and Al working together, but man, that'd be one hell of a
yeah,
fight.
definitely. All of them would be interesting, mate. That's the thing. Like we were talking earlier. People have got this idea that like the sort of heavyweight. Oh, it's got to be like sort of like Wilder against Joshua, and there's nothing. There's so many good fights to be made. Like we've
Exactly.
seen recently. We've just seen like last night. We saw obviously Parker against Whyte, great fight.
Great
Chisora
fight.
against Wilder against Ortiz. About to
Yep.
see Joshua against Povetkin. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Got
Yep.
Tyson Fury coming back. There's loads of good stuff to be made.
That's true.
Do you know
That's
what I
why.
mean?
Yep. Like we were saying, like I said, man, the Wilder and Joshua thing gave me a fucking headache. Had my head spinning. I'm done with it. I'm done with the show. That circus. Whenever because it turned into a circus, man. So whenever they sign
Yeah.
the fucking contracts and fight each other, that's when I'll be back on that bandwagon. But until then, I'm not worrying about what's next for neither one. Like you say, looking at the fights yesterday, man. it like I love that spark because that was great for the heavyweight division, and I hate that certain people couldn't see that because they were so fucking good, just like the cruiserweights. It's like certain fights be so good to where you really forget about the rest of the heavyweight because you want this big massive fight to
Yeah.
happen, and then you downplay the other heavyweights. Like when Dylan White was trying to fight Wilder, we even myself. I was saying it was a roadblock, but I understood the fight was a beautiful fight and it
Yeah.
was a good fight. But I still wanted to see Wilder and Joshua. But now seeing what Dylan White was doing, it's like, you know what? Dylan White will get Wilder a fucking run for his money. And that's just being honest. I do got Wilder knocking White out, but he will give him a run for his money, man. Dylan White is a tough
I think they're
sucker.
both. I think they're sort of stylistically very, very sort of like bad for each other, if that makes any sense. We can sort of get onto that like when we start talking about that fight. But I think
Yeah,
they both cause each other a lot of problems, like due to the styles.
that's
You know what I
true.
mean? But yeah,
That's
if we
true.
move on to that one, in terms of Derek Chisora, yeah, I'd love to see him fight against Ortiz. Love to see him fight against Jarrell Miller. In terms of Joshua or Wilder, I mean, there are other people I prefer to see fight Joshua. I wouldn't really want to see him fight Joshua, to be honest. I mean, they both come from the same gym, both like
True.
North London, know each other. Obviously, I
I
think
don't think.
Chisora is like
Yeah, I think
past it
Chisora
really to
earned.
be
I
fighting.
don't think he earned that fight. I don't think he earned the Joshua fight.
I don't think he's got much chance in that either. Wilder, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but there are other fights I prefer to see Wilder in. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, that's true. Like he won't. He
if he
won't.
did
He
get
won't.
signed, then
Yep. It won't do too much for Wilder because I know what people gonna say. But like we said with a Jarrell or a Pula rematch or Ortiz, that'll be a fight that get them ready, and it's a good contender
yeah,
fight to see who should fight a champion. So that's how I look at that.
yeah. Right, well, let's move on into the
Dylan
fight with
White,
Dylan White against Parker. Then. What's your
man,
first thoughts on this?
one hell of a fight, man. I salute Parker. I salute Dylan White. Parker came out early on, doing his thing. He was trying to stand up for a minute and bang it out, but I still had um, Dylan White pulling away with rounds. I thought Dylan White was landing harder shots. I thought Parker was doing great. He was boxing, and I think he felt the pressure of Dylan White, where he saw he had to try to make adjustments. And I saw Parker trying to make adjustments and start getting back on his legs and box and try to be him normal self. But like I said in my video, I hate that he dropped his hands all the time. I know it's part of his slickness and his little crafty style. I don't like that because you is a heavyweight and we know the one punch count. But Dylan White, man, he showed a great account of himself. He kept the pressure on. He kept coming. He kept forcing the fight. Parker sat down, did what he said he was going to do. He's going to fight more. He did let his hands go more. But I always said if he do that, it's going to favor Dylan White. And the fight was favoring Dylan White. You know, I was listening to Tony Bellew, man. I say Tony Bellew is a little bit biased towards the UK fighters. You know what I mean? Because
All right.
it was some rounds where I thought Parker was winning and he was just giving Dylan White all the credit. I'm like, come on, Tony. Now you got to give Parker some type of credit. But he did give him
Yeah,
credit towards the end. But I just like the fact of Dylan White. He didn't stop trying. He kept going. And when he dropped the man with that hook, that was a beautiful shot. Put him down.
yeah.
But you can tell he was a little fatigued still because he didn't just jump on him. And I don't think Parker was too hurt. But he kept it pushing. And going down the line, Parker did what he had to do. Came back. He jumped on him in the 12th, put him down. And Dylan White did the smartest thing to do is grab and hold on for dear life. He held the ropes for about 20 damn seconds when the ref was trying to break him
He
up. I
literally
don't
like
blame
pinned
him.
him to the ropes, didn't
Yeah, I don't
he?
blame him. But it was a tactic that he used, and he survived, man. And
Yeah,
the right man won the fight, and that was a thriller, man. And I like the ending, like when they was congratulating each other. How Joe Parker said, Dylan White said, "I'm still learning." Joe said he's still learning. Only 26 years of age, man. Look at the fights he been in, Joseph Parker. So you got to commend Joseph Parker, and he's still a great champion. He will be back in another title shot because he do got all the skills in the world. And both of them can hold their head high. I don't see Joseph taking too many steps back because it is not that many top 10 heavyweights. So his name is still credible. And Dylan White, man, like I say, he deserved the Joshua fight if the Wilder and Joshua fight don't happen next. Great fight for both. Great showing for the heavyweight division. And I salute both of them dudes. What's your take, Sean?
yeah. I mean, I agree with most of what you're saying. I mean, Joseph Parker started off pretty well, didn't he? Because he came out and he had like
Yep.
fast hands, quick on his feet. He was like sort of beating White to the punch. He
Yep.
looked to me like he was sort of edging it in the first couple of rounds. Then there was that knockdown. I think it was like a clash of heads, wasn't it?
Yep.
And basically, what I thought happened, I thought that I couldn't really, I couldn't really pick a winner with any real conviction. But I was leaning towards Dylan Whyte. I just thought that he was more, when it came to it, like really sort of like roll your sleeves up and just have a go. I didn't really
Yep.
see
More
Joseph Parker
gutsy.
being able to. Yeah, I just couldn't see him sort of toughing it out with him. Dylan White's just a man on a mission, very real will to win. And to be honest, there's no one really like in the heavyweight division. Might be no one who's got more bollocks and more heart than him, and more just of a sort of natural fighting spirit.
I
I mean,
agree.
you see in the last round, like even when he's blatantly winning the fight, he gets like he's knackered. He's sort of out on his feet. He can barely stand up from exhaustion. Parker like hits him a couple of times, and rather than like anyone thinking, okay, I'll just sort of stay on the back foot and see the round out, he's just instantly, he gets hit a couple of times. Like, right, that's it, let's have it. Just steams in and just starts. Do you know what I mean? That's the
Uh-huh.
mentality he has, which is obviously a strength, but it can be a bit of a weakness as well.
That's true,
I mean,
especially going up against Joshua and Wilder.
yeah, he was very good, and he just sort of comes at you, very good body shots. People were saying that Parker is a better boxer than Dylan White. I didn't see it. I never saw him as being a better boxer. I see him being more quicker
More
hands.
slicker.
And he
More
does
slicker.
it's slicker. Yeah,
I,
he's better defensively, and he's much more quick. He's quicker on his feet, and he's got quicker hands. More athletic, isn't he? But
yeah.
in terms of boxing skills, Dylan White has got good punch selection, good combinations. He
Because
picks
Dylan
his
White,
punch.
he picked,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
sorry to cut you out. Dylan White, he did beat him with the jab a few times. I will say, I did get Parker the edge in boxing a little bit because of the combination punching, but Dylan was going back with a few combinations. I say Parker hands was faster, and he was like when he turned to a little boxing mode, it was good. But like when he turned into that boxing mode, he wasn't really that effective because he was trying to pick shots, and Dylan was on his ass like, no, we go keep this going back and forth, you know.
yeah. But that body work from Dylan White, 'cause he'll just come forward, just grind you down. He's got long reach
Yep.
as well, so he can get you with those like looping hooks to the body. He's got good range on the jab, but the body, he doesn't have to get that close to you to whip him in. You know what I mean? And there aren't that many heavyweights who can do that. The one weakness that I thought he showed, I mean, he came in a little bit overweight, didn't he? And he was a little bit slow,
I
but
think both.
he
I
does.
think I'm sorry. I think both did because Dylan White was saying it like we came in, only had 7 weeks of camp, so they can only get the weight down to where they
Yeah,
got it to, you know. So I can understand that, but you got to stay in shape no matter what. You got to stay in shape. But go ahead, Sean.
but he's even like from like the sort of sixth round onwards. Okay, he gets like second wins, but he looks sort of quite tired, doesn't he? Like throughout the fight, Dylan White, which is
Yeah,
a weakness.
and but
Yeah, I mean,
it really showed in the 12th.
yeah, the 12, even before then, he was showing signs of it. He looked like he was kind of a bit showing signs of fatigue. He's obviously very intense the way he fights, but I mean, he got through it. And obviously, Parker's a top level fighter, but I think
Yep.
Parker, he just doesn't really have. He's got a lot of spirit and a lot of heart and a lot of determination, but he just doesn't really seem to have that much killer instinct, does he?
There you go. Because in the 12th when he dropped him, and it's like you said too, Sean. That's true. Because I think it was Bellu that said it like um Dylan is fighting more off of adrenaline. You know what I mean? Like he was going off of adrenaline, and you could tell
Yeah,
because he was forcing everything. And it's like he wasn't picking up on that. Joseph Parker wasn't picking up on that. He was going backwards when it was like Dylan was really a I ain't gonna call him a dead man, but he was a tired man, you know. But he still had that pop, but he was a tired man. It's like if Parker was to go in there and get to the body and just let his hands go to the body and come
yeah,
back up, he probably could have stopped Dylan White in that fight, you know. But instead, you know, he didn't want to chance it. And that's just him being him. It's a part of his nature. Just like you say, if you ain't got that killer instinct, you're not going to have it. You know, he dropped Dylan White in the 12th, but I think it was more. And don't get me wrong, he caught him and he dropped him, but it was more of a fatigue drop than for
yeah,
us like him really hitting him and
yeah,
hurting him. You know, it was more a fatigue drop
yeah,
than him really hitting him and hurting him because. You, and even with that, you supposed to come on, man. You supposed to just fuck it, go all out, balls to the walls. Like I can catch this son of a gun. He really hurt, you know, and he didn't do that. You know, like you say, he didn't have that killer instinct to try to go out there and finish him off. But 26 years of age, like you say, still learning, still growing. A big learning experience for him, you know. And like I say, he got New Zealand behind him. He can keep his head high. We will see Joseph Porker in another championship fight. Mark my words on that one.
yeah.
He will be in another
And he's
championship fight.
He's fought his last 3 fights in the UK. He's obviously fought in front of 80,000 people.
Yep.
He fought the last 3. He fought Hughie Fury, then
Fury
Anthony
Fury,
Joshua, then
and down Dylan Whyte. Yep.
yeah. So he's a big. He can obviously sell tickets in New Zealand. He's a big name over here now. He's quite people like
Yep.
him. Do you know what I mean? He's a nice bloke.
In America,
He's I mean
America know about him.
he put on in America. Obviously, he was going to fight potentially Bryant Jennings, wasn't he?
Yep.
He could fight maybe Deontay Wilder,
You know what? I
Jarrell
forgot
Miller.
all about Brian Jennings, man. He like the lost man. Even though he was top rank, he got a fight coming up, but I forgot all about him. But continue.
Yeah, they were talking about fighting Bryant Jennings, weren't they? Before the sort of Dylan Whyte fight came up. So he's got a
Yep.
lot of options. He can fight the world. Like, yeah, he is young. I just think that I don't know if he's really aggressive enough. Do you know what I mean? You see him
I
outside, he's a
understand.
really
I
nice guy.
understand.
Well,
Especially in the
there's
heavyweight
loads of times,
division.
yeah, when he just wasn't really. I mean, he could have really sort of forced the issue, but he just seems content to do enough. I mean, really, from the Carlos Takam, I remember in terms of him really stepped up. Did you just see him before? And he used to like just sort of beat up all these people in New Zealand, and like a few sort of journeymen and like old timers and stuff like that. In terms of like when he's really started fighting top level people, he fought Carlos Takam, and Carlos Takam, as we know, is pretty like tenacious. He's on. You know what I mean? He's going to have a tear up with you. And he
Uh-huh.
didn't really seem that keen on doing it in that. He did at times, but I think
Yeah.
when he realised that he wasn't just be able to blast him out of there, he didn't seem that keen on sort of digging deep to do it. Andy
Yeah.
Ruiz, then he
Who
fought, and
some
that's kind of on the back foot.
some people thought he lost.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't personally, but it was
No, I
close.
had
I
him
thought it
winning.
could have
I
gone
had
either
him
way.
winning. I had him winning, but I
But
had a lot of people saying Andy Ruiz won.
he was on the back foot, wasn't he? And he wasn't like particularly, getting stuck in. Then he fought I can't remember his sparring partner, and it was just a bit of a waste of everybody's time, wasn't it? Really, that fight.
Yep.
And then the fights I'd since then, he just hasn't really looked ruthless enough. Like last night, Dylan Whyte was tired. He was in position, like he's got quick hands, quick feet, but he wasn't really wanting to particularly engage. I think he may have been intimidated a little bit by Dylan Whyte, like roughing him up, the body, he's hard puncher. He was, you know what I mean? I don't know if that sort of clash of heads possibly like affected him early on. Who knows?
No, I don't think it was that. I think it's just what you said. I think it's just like it's his style of fighting to where he plays safe a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he want to get his and get out of there. You can tell he was trying to do that. But it's like he did sit down and try to fight some other time. But I just think when he sit down and fight and he let his hands go, Dylan was getting the best of him. Dylan was getting the best of him. So he tried to make adjustments and get on his back foot and try to win by outboxing. But like I say, even with that, like you say, he wasn't really hitting him with harder shots to really make people say, ooh, ah. But when he sat down, he was landing good shots, going to the body, he's going to the
yeah, he
body
was.
as well. So it was a good back and forth. It's just, like you say, man, it's just you got to have that killer instinct to know. Like this guy, and I'm quite sure he leaning on you. So he tired. I know you heard the deep breathing. I know you see these things and feel it.
Yeah,
And you're supposed to know these things like jump like he tired. Go
yeah,
to the body. Go to the body. He's tired. He's wearing down. So like you say, you gotta have that killer instinct in your head to know. So I just don't think he got it in him. But it don't take away from the great fighter that he is and the finesse that he is. And we'll see him in
yeah.
his next fight and see if he learned from it.
I like him. I like his good skill. He's tough, mate. That he got knocked down with that left hook. He got up, and he survived the round, and he was, do you know what I mean? He
Yep.
went back for it. He's obviously tough. I mean, that's the first time he's went down, and he's got
Yep.
like heart for him to this early on in his career, like fighting, on the road against like top level opposition. Loses to Joshua. His next fight straight away is against Dylan Whyte. Do you know what I mean? He's not messing about. So
Yep.
it's not. Doesn't lack like sort of heart or balls or anything like that. I just think he's possibly a bit, like you say, he plays it safe too much and just doesn't. He's got the tools, but he just doesn't really use them. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see him improve that. To be honest, I don't know if like maybe his corner are a bit too. I don't know. Like not, there's no sense of urgency in there. Like he needed a bit of a
Right.
kick up the arse. You know what I mean,
Right.
obviously
Like
easier
to give
said
him
than
that
done. I mean,
push.
I just don't think he can match Dylan Whyte really for will. I don't think many people can, to be honest. I think he
Oh
can
yeah.
get beaten by people like Wilder or Joshua, maybe because they can knock him out. But I
And
don't
they
think they
use
can
that
match him for
aggression.
will.
They use that aggression against him. Like Dylan White wears hard on the sleeve, man. We all know he passionate about the game. But
Yeah.
like we know, one thing Dylan White is going to do, he's not going to shortchange himself. He's going to leave it all in the
No.
ring. The same as Chisora. Dylan White is going to leave it all in the ring. So at the end, you're
Yeah.
not going to say he didn't do this, he didn't try to do that, and that's where you get the passion and you get the love, and you see that he really want to win, and that's why I respect Dylan White, man. I respect him even more now. Like I say, knocking out Lucas Brown. A lot of people, oh, Lucas Brown, oh, this, that, it don't matter. That was the knockout of the year to me. And then coming back and putting down Joseph Parker. Has Joseph Parker ever been down?
No, he's never been down.
That was his
Apparently
first
not
time,
even
right?
in,
That's what I'm saying.
apparently not even as an amateur.
Not even as an amateur. That's what I'm saying. Doing something nobody ever did, man. Put Joseph Parker down, like like
Yeah.
that's something that's special, man. And like I say, he deserved that fight. He deserved a big fight. If you don't get Joshua, I'm hoping Wilder and Joshua will be next. But if it don't happen, man,
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing Dylan White in a rematch because both of them grown like Joshua and Dylan White are on two different levels. The first fight was a fucking exciting fight with Joshua and Dylan
Yeah.
White. It was exciting. So both of them grown, they're on two different levels, and the only loss that's on Dylan White record is Anthony Joshua. So
Yeah. Yeah.
let's see what happens.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like I say, I'd prefer to see obviously Wilder against Joshua, and if not that, I'd prefer to see Dylan White against Wilder, just for the fact I haven't seen that fight yet. But
Man,
I certainly wouldn't
I
turn my
would love to
nose
see
up.
that fight. I would love to see that fight.
Yeah, certainly wouldn't turn my nose up at a rematch though.
But I know Wilder not gonna take that fight because he's not gonna do no business with Eddie unless it's Joshua.
He's not
I
going
can
to fight
just tell,
that.
yeah, I can tell about the urgency and how Wilder feeling. I don't blame him,
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, it's a business, man. I think Dylan White, like between anybody out there you pick, Dylan White is your biggest paycheck. You know what I mean? That's the biggest paycheck out of anybody. So if it don't happen, like I say, White Joshua will be the next fight if Joshua get past Povetkin, which I got him getting past Povetkin. You know what I mean? He
but
cleaning
also
Povetkin up.
the most credible opponent, really, apart from Joshua, because obviously like Fury isn't really like back to his best yet.
Yeah,
He's
you're
just
not
fought
right,
Ortiz,
right.
so Pekin. I mean, I suppose maybe, but like, yeah, but like you say, I mean, that's not going to happen, is it? I mean, he's not up for that for whatever reason. That's not going to happen now. Possibly it'll happen down the line. We'll see.
Yeah,
But how would you? Let's talk about that. The potential of that, because it's quite an interesting one. Because that fight last night, him against Wilder would be an interesting one. Because on the one hand, I could see Wilder like potentially like him just being too wild, too reckless, really, to fight Wilder, and too. I don't know. Like sometimes he'll swing like Wilder does the same thing, but Wilder's got
true.
a lot of stamina.
And
Do
a
you know what
lot
I
of
mean?
reach. He got a lot of reach. But one thing I would
Yeah.
say though,
But
last
he's got,
night,
but
Dylan
Dylan White's
White.
got very good reach. Hold on.
Oh yeah,
Dylan
he
White's got
do.
very good reach.
But I
The
don't
big
think his
edge
reach.
I'd give Wilder is just the
Yeah,
stamina, really.
that's true
And
too.
he's obviously a bit more powerful. He's obviously like punches a bit hard, but Dylan White hits hard. Do you know what I
But
mean?
did you
Not
see
as hard as Wilder,
last
but
night,
a hard
Dylan
puncher.
White? I'm sorry, Dylan White. He was kind of boxing okay, man. Like I saw good techniques a little bit.
Good boxer.
Yeah, like last night against
Yeah.
Parker, I think that fight helped him in that experience for us, a technique for as a boxer, because Parker is one of the best boxers in the heavyweight division, and we can say one of the best movers. We'll say he got better feet work um
Yeah.
than Deontay, and for you to walk that down and experience that, it gives you experience for a Wilder. Even though I'm not saying he is
Yeah.
Wilder, because we know Wilder got the strong 1-2, and he come with bigger punches and bigger shots. But like I say, man, Dylan White, he gives anybody problem at heavyweight. I do think he get Wilder problem with the body work.
Yeah.
If he can jab
I
his
mean,
weight in.
he could potentially like ruck up Wilder really with the body work. The only thing is, Wilder's obviously he's fit, or at least he is
In
fit. Like
shape,
most of the fights,
always
it depends
fit.
who's fighting. But like 12 rounds, is he going to be full of energy after fighting Dylan White for 12 rounds?
I think
That's a thing you have to
this
consider.
the
Dylan
thing.
White, big
This the
lump,
thing though.
body
I'm gonna say this,
puncher,
Sean.
relentless.
I'm gonna say this, Sean. Wilder know for a fact, bro. If you sign a contract against Dylan White, your ass better be in some shapes. You understand? You better be in some shapes, and you better be ready to fight. Cause once you look at Dylan White and the turn that he been on, man, that's so much motivation and so much momentum Dylan White on right now. Like he really feel like he can beat the best right now. Especially after that fight. Yes, get your conditioning better. But momentum is everything, bro. Momentum is everything. And Dylan White has the momentum. He has the motivation. Not saying that's going to win the fight because you still got to fight and win. But once you got a confident fighter like that, man, those are the scariest fighters to fight. You know, somebody that's confident and feel like they can beat you. Oh yeah, you better watch out. So Wilder will be in great shape because he know if you fight that fight with Dylan Whyte and the press conference is going to be on fire, you know, you
Yeah.
better bring your ass in shape and you better be ready to fight because Dylan is gonna bring it. He's gonna bring it for 12 rounds.
The thing that would concern me about Dylan Whyte for with Wilder, sorry, as a Dylan Whyte fan, is that he does look a bit tired at times, and you could see, I could imagine him at some point getting caught with something pretty hard. Like, and obviously, as we know, Wilder's a good finisher, so he got away with it against Parker to a certain extent, like those sort of lapses where he's a bit tired, and he's because Parker was kind of up for a bit of a rest anyway. I think he really wanted to be there, so I think Deontay Wilder's got a bit more. Well, he's got a lot more of a killer instinct in him, and he's tougher than I thought as well. Like, after seeing the Ortiz fight, he's quite tough. Do you know what I mean? He take a
That's
bit.
true.
I mean, he didn't really get hit in the body that much, but he did get hit with quite a lot of big punches, and he took them and recovered quite quickly. So I don't know. It's definitely, of course, a dangerous fight. I'd love to see it, but the one thing that would concern me for Dylan White is the stamina. Against someone like Wilder, I think you need to be switched on like for 12. Do you know what I mean? You can't be
Yeah.
like,
Cardio
you
got to
know,
be on point.
knackered.
Yeah. And that's why I say Wilder will pick up on that. Like you say, I think Wilder and Joshua would pick up on that. Like if you tear down, you know, if you tear down and they feel it, that they're gonna figure. And it's like you can't the things he did with Joe Parker, like how he was leaning on him and holding him down. He can't do that against Wilder and Joshua. You know, I don't think he's stronger than them too. I don't
Yeah.
think he got the physicality to do that. He can hold on to him, but I don't think he's going to be able to. You know, if anything, they'll be leaning on him and try to wear him down and try to tire him out. And it kind of worked against him, trying to hold and grab and hold on Parker because it kind of tired him out a little bit more. But if he going on against Wilder and he get tired like that,
I
Wilder
think what
picks up on that and Wilder gets aggressive and he
I
knocks
think
him out.
what he'd need to do against Wilder, because obviously Wilder, because he's got good reach and he's tall and he's obviously quite quick on his feet. He can fight at quite a slow pace. That's what he does, isn't it? And obviously, because he's quite small, like for a heavyweight, like not stature but weight. He's
Yeah.
quite thin, isn't he? He doesn't
Coming in
weigh
at
that much, so he
220 and
can.
two. Yeah, when people come in at 246 and
Yeah, so he's
yeah,
basically got no excess weight on him. He's literally, I mean, he's. I suppose you
like
could say the
muscle.
perfect weight really for the. I
Yeah,
mean,
like he all muscle.
he's not carrying anything that he doesn't need. So like,
Right.
but he can fight at quite a slow pace because people are a bit wary of him. He can like sort of lean out the way. If Dylan White was able to really like force the pace, then potentially you could see Wilder like not having that same sort of stamina that we see. But then obviously the flip side of that is Dylan White obviously is going to then have stamina issues himself. What about him against Ortiz? Let's talk about that because that's a
Oh man,
potential one that could be made.
that like I thought that
I
was
like
the
that as
next
well.
fight for each other before the Parker fight. Like I was so happy, man. I jumped out, man. I almost walked when I heard that fight was signed before they switched it up to the Joe Parker fight. I was ready for it. I saluted Dylan White so much. I'm like, he took the damn Ortiz fight, or man, I salute him. I salute him. But if he take that Ortiz fight, man, the winner, like I say, the winner deserve a shot at the title. No, no waiting, no nothing, no waiting at
Yeah.
all. The winner of Ortiz and Dylan White, but that fight is so much of a tear up, bro. Look, I'm speaking y'all language. It's so much of a tear up. It's a hell of
Yeah.
a fight. That's a hell of a fight, bro. Like, and that's like I go 60-40 Ortiz way. You know, I go 60-40. Maybe I can't even do 60-40, man. I gotta do um 45-55 Ortiz way. Cause Dylan White, like I say, man, that heart of his, man, you can never count that dude out. You can't count him out. And I think he's gonna bring it to Ortiz, but I think Ortiz is a more powerful puncher. I think he's a more technical fighter, you know. But if Dylan can get in there and stay in his chest, you know, and make him fight and take the styles away where Ortiz trying to measure him out
Yeah.
and trying to work his way in. But he is a southpaw, so he got to watch out for that. That's dangerous. So
Yeah.
and just make him fight, I think he'll give himself a great shot, man. And we think that he can get knocked out. And I do think he got the power to knock out Luis Ortiz. I do believe that. I think he got the heart and the power. I lean towards Ortiz to win the fight. You know, I lean towards Ortiz to win, but it will be one hell of a fight. And I think that fight we will want to see again. I think it's that type of fight that when they fight, we want to see a rematch in that fight. That's the type of fight I believe that would be.
I think I definitely think Ortiz has got the edge in terms of skill. I mean, for me, he's like a big version of Rigo.
Yep.
He's got that. I mean,
Only
he's
he
quite
don't
sort of
quit. Only he don't quit.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not saying he's like cut from the same cloth as Rigo, but he's got a similar kind of style, hasn't he?
Yep.
He's
The Cuban style, the Cuban school style.
he's kind of a little bit sort of one-dimensional. You sort of know what he's going to do, but like he's basically got that sort of straight right hand, and he's got like steps back, and he measures you, and he comes it. He's got good uppercuts and stuff on the inside, but
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of predictable. But at the same time, he's very, very good at what he does, and
Yep.
he's very
Sort of like
quick on
Mikey
his sort of
Garcia a little
deceptive.
bit. Sort of like Mike with the technical style, and they
Yeah,
stick to what they do best. But go ahead, Sean.
yeah. But I do think like the physicality of Dylan Whyte it would be quite a lot. I mean, he is. I mean, he's at least 40, isn't he? We can argue about how old he really is, but
He say
he's at least
39. I
40.
believe. I believe when he say 39. Though I really believe him. I look at him, and I can see him going on 40. I can see him going on
It
40.
is possible, but like let's just say 40-ish. Whereas Dylan Whyte, that's quite old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dylan Whyte is a real physical fighter. I mean, he's in your face, constantly putting a body shots in. He's in your face. He's got a real will to win. It's a hard ask for like someone who's like 40 years old, at least. You know what I mean? You saw that against Wilder. I mean, he couldn't really. That's pretty much what lost him the fight, isn't it? Like when he kind of got to he couldn't really just
Yeah.
hang with Wilder. He wasn't physically able to. He was skillful. He had
Yep.
that edge, but physicality of Wilder was just too much for him.
Too much, and it looked like he shot his shot out against Wilder to where you can tell like he
Yeah,
got fatigued himself to where he was really gassing out. That's what we were saying about Dylan White. You can't gas out. So both of them have to come in great shape and good cardio. Because I do see both of them, because neither one. I wonder if Dylan White taller than Luis Ortiz. So when you look at the situation, they match up just perfect. And I
they both
believe
got
that. Yep, and they both are going to fight. They're going to fight. So
yeah.
like I said, Ortiz more technical, but at the end of the day, Dylan White can make you fight. He can
He's,
force you to fight his fight.
he's tough as old boots as well. People like think, oh, he got knocked out by Joshua. He was taking like hardcore like punches for about 5 rounds. You know what I
Yep.
mean? He didn't
Yep.
just get like knocked out. Like I mean, he's tough, Dylan White. Do you know what I mean? You're not gonna like
Yeah.
hit him a couple of times and like the bloke that Ortiz fought the other day. He's out. That's forget that. And that's not gonna happen. He's gonna have to, if he wants to knock him out, he's gonna have to work at it.
Or he's going to have to work. He's going to have to work. Like I say, Ortiz or Dylan White is no tough outing for nobody, man. Neither one is no tough outing for no one. And I pray, man, I pray that fight can happen next. And if we can get Wilder and Joshua, and then it can happen on the undercard, because that would be one hell of a card, man. One hell of a
Yeah,
card, So that's one hell of a fight. It's one hell of a fight for the both. It's a statement fight. It's a championship fight. The winner can fight the winner of if 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 Wilder win, then we know it's a rematch. But if Joshua end up winning, beating Wilder, the winner get that fight, and you got a chance to be heavyweight. I mean, you undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. It'll be a great fight, it'll be a great showing. And like I say, if they can make both of those fights happen on those cards, what a hell of a show we in for.
I'd like to see him fight Jarrell Miller as well.
Oh yeah, I do too. Like Jarrell got something big come. Like, and to be real with you, Dylan White and Jarrell might be next. It might be
Yeah,
next because both of them with Eddie. You want the good fight, you want the big name. Um, so let's just see. Like they got options, man. And the good thing about the heavyweight division, it is on fire. So to the people that saying the heavyweight division is a slap, I heard somebody wrote something on Instagram on my thingy. Oh man, the heavyweight division is shitty. Even I say, look here, bro. If you think the heavyweight division is shitty, please stay off my page. Don't comment on my page. You should leave boxing alone, man. And that's what we go back to saying. We all caught up on Joshua and Wilder, and it take away from the fire from the
someone
rest
else.
of the heavyweights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
because the
lot of good
heavyweight
stuff
division
to
is
do.
on fire. Yeah, it's on fire. We just got to mix
How
and
did
match in the right way.
just before we moved on there, because I only saw the knockout. Just give us a quick like rundown of like how Ortiz looked against
Oh man, against
Jano.
yeah, John, one hell of a fight by Ortiz, man. He controlled the distance, controlled the range. John, he came in. I think it was the fourth or the third. I know it was an early day. He caught him, man, and that was all she wrote. Put him down on the He went down to his knees, came back up, bounced off the ropes, tried to climb up, stumbled, and the ref called it good night. Ortiz looked good, looked like the same King Kong. Jumped on the ropes, The Wilder. I mean, you didn't see no hesitation from him being knocked out in the Wilder fight. You know, he
Yeah.
brought it on. He still looked confident. Still looked like he wanted to be a champion of the world, and he put himself in position for one of these top fighters, and arguably a rematch with Wilder or a top contender. You know, he's still the same Luis Ortiz until we see him fight one of these top fighters and see if he got a little bit
Yeah.
lenient. You know,
To be honest, I would have expected that from him. To be honest, just from the
yeah,
way he
like
was
that's what he's
talking
supposed to
after
do. That's true.
the way the way he was talking, as if like he'd been cheated and he hadn't really lost. You could tell he hadn't really like lost any like confidence. Do you know what I mean?
Confidence.
He
Yep.
still thought he was like one of the best.
And that comes from a
So
tough
yeah,
mind, being mentally tough, you know, and just knowing what you are. Like I say, when he went back and watched the fight, he did better than he thought he did, you know. So I guess that took some of the pressure off him from him going to look at the fight and be like, you know what, I screwed myself over. And he watched that fight and was like, you know what, I was in control of that fight. You know, I tired out, I made a mistake, I paid for it. It's boxing. But other than that, I was doing great things. I had the crowd on my side. I had people saying I was up. Fuck what the judges scorecard say. You know, credit to Wilder, he knocked me out, but I looked good in that fight, and you know he can build off of that. You know, no reason to hold his head down. He came back, took a little
uh,
tune up, got him out of there. Now he back in position for a big fight.
yeah, and he won a lot of fans in that fight. He definitely because that was the first real big name he'd fought against, wasn't it? And people were like saying, "Oh, is he really?" But yeah, he definitely showed that he was
Yep,
the real deal.
and
I
almost
should move on to
became.
the
No, I was gonna say almost became
Mike
the WBC champion of the world. Yep. Let's move on.
Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter Jr. Do you see that? Oh, there's got
Oh,
there's a couple of got NBC boxing in the Sean and how's it
NBT.
going, NBC? Cheers for coming in.
NBT. Thank you, brother, for the link. NBT. NBT had a link, man, so I could see the Dylan Whyte and Parker and the Chisora and Takam. I wish I went on there early because I tried to find Katie Taylor and Bawatsi, but I missed them both. You know, I saw the knockout with Anthony Fowler, and then I saw the Dave Allen fight up to the third round. He got the knockout in the fourth round, so I missed that knockout. Brutal knockout, brutal. But thank you, NBT, man. I appreciate that. But
And we've
Mikey
got
Garcia,
78 Sports TV in here as well. How's it going, mate? Good to
you
have
say
you here.
78, big dog 78,
He's
man. Shouts out to 78, man. Free 78, man. Great dude. Man, 78 motivate me, man, more than he know, man. More than he know. Shouts out to 78. But Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter, man. Listen, a lot of people, credit to Mikey Garcia. He did his thing. He did control the second half of the fight. But the first half, Robert Easter was in the fight, man. I had it 3-3 going into the six. He was in the fight. He was sitting down. He was boxing. He was boxing, which I felt like he could have sat down more with Mikey in the inside, man. Like he didn't have to move as much as he was moving because he was the better fighter in the inside when he was digging to Mikey body coming up. That was his best shot of catching Mikey with something hard, not boxing. Because once you get Mikey momentum, man, let Mikey come forward and keep the pace on your ass, you turn yourself out. And at the same time, Mikey's so conditioned and so fucking fundamental, he gonna stick to what he do. Jab your ass, move you to this side till he get you in position to land that big shot. And that's what he was doing with Rob Easton this whole second half. When Robert got caught, he went down. That took some momentum from Robert. But Mikey didn't bring on the killer pressure that he could have done, and it gave Robert a little more, got him a little more energy back to where he got the boxing again. But at the end of the day, man, Mikey was Mikey. He did what he did. He was fundamentally sound. He showed that he is a pound for pound, one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world. He's the unified IBF and WBC champion of the world. I mean, the lightweight champion. I respect him. But now it's time for him to go up and fight Earl Spence and get his ass beat. And that's just what's going to happen. Once he go up to 47,
yeah.
and shouts out to Robert East. I want Robert Easton to keep his head up. Champions can bounce back from this loss. He can go back to the drawing board, look at what he did wrong, and he got the position to be a champion again. So keep his head up. He took it as gracious. The press conference, no hard feelings. He was still happy. It hurt him a little bit, but he'll be back, man. He'll be okay. But
That was
yeah,
a good
Mikey talking
performance
about
from
going
him.
up.
I mean, I only saw the first 8 rounds, but he's good on jab, good timing, good like jab to the body. Yeah, quite good. Wasn't really throwing that many power shots, but he looked pretty decent from what I could see.
Yeah, that was for the first half of the fight. The second half, man, he got
Yeah,
timid. When he got dropped, he
in terms of like
started. Yeah, he wasn't sitting down
Yeah, I
enough.
mean, in terms of Mikey Garcia, I mean, I do like him. I do think he's good, but people comparing him to like Crawford and Lomachenko, and I don't really see it, to be honest with you. I think he's good, but
I think
I think there's
Crawford beat
quite a big difference
Lomachenko.
between those two.
I think he beat
Huh?
Lomachenko. I think if Crawford was to fight Lomachenko, I think his patience, like with Lomachenko, you got to
Crawford,
stop
yeah, Crawford could
Lomachenko
beat
pace.
Lomachenko, but Garcia, Crawford
No,
would beat
I got
Lomachenko. Yeah,
I got
Garcia.
Crawford. I got Crawford beating Mikey and Lomachenko. They don't want none of that
Yeah,
Crawford work.
true.
Neither one don't want Crawford.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, Crawford would be. No, I'm saying that Mikey Garcia, for me, he's not on the level. Like Lomachenko and Crawford are the two, like for me, two top two easily at the moment. Like in
oh, no
terms of
doubt, no doubt. Terrence
skill and
Crawford
just,
number one. Terrence Crawford
I
number
don't
one.
see
Lomachenko number
Mikey
two.
Garcia on that level.
I do see Mikey Garcia on that level. I gotta give Mikey Garcia all the credit in the world. I do see him on that level. I do see him. He, like I say, man, Mikey don't do nothing to blow people away, but his angles, like people don't see the angles he take, his style, he's patient, man, his patience, and he don't waste punches. Mikey pick his shot perfect, he lands, and I like him, man, because it's like you gotta have that heart, you gotta have that dog, that hunger in you to want it. Mikey Garcia want it, and he believes it. He got the confidence. He's not afraid. Mikey is a killer. Like Mikey is one of them motherfuckers you can look at and say, he don't get afraid, man. He's a killer like Earl and Crawford and Lomachenko. He got that in him. He got that in him. Now, moving up to fight Earl is a dumbass mistake. But at the end of the day, I respect him, because he is a big name. And after Earl whoop his ass, Earl will get all the credit from me because Mikey Garcia is a pound for pound fighter and he chose to do it like Rigo chose to fight Lomachenko. But I do want to see the Mikey Garcia and Lomachenko fight. I do think that's one hell of a fight. I do think it's a tough fight, but it's one that I think Mikey Garcia win because it's fundamentals. Not saying Lomachenko not fundamental, but Lomachenko loves to fight. I think Mikey is one of the
No.
fighters that can slow the pace with Lomachenko. I feel like he could, but it's going to be a
Well,
tough
Mikey
task. I think just let me
Okay,
say,
well,
I just think Mikey got more power than Linares. I think he can catch Lomachenko. But go ahead, Sean.
I'd say Mikey Garcia. Let's start with Lomachenko and move on to him against Errol Spence. Against Lomachenko, he's got obviously power. He can catch him. He's like you say, he's fundamentally sound, but I think he's significantly slower. I think he's a bit more basic. I just don't really see him being able to sort of dictate the pace like he can against the likes of like Robert Easter Jr. and like good fighters. Don't get me wrong; these are all like sort of world champions. But I think against someone like Lomachenko, I don't really see him being able to do that. I
But
just see like
everybody say that, Sean.
Lomachenko
Like
being too
all.
quick for him.
Oh, go ahead, Sean.
No, but
I
who?
just think I was gonna
Well,
say all the fighters say that until
he's
they get into the ring with that motherfucker, and then it's a different story.
yeah, but he doesn't really have like a big record of fighting loads of top people. To be honest, does he,
I mean, see, what
Mikey
I
Garcia?
don't do, Sean, I
That's a
don't, I
good
don't,
opponent.
I don't, I
Wrong.
don't play the
That's a good.
resume
That's a good
game.
opponent last night.
Yeah,
I'll give I'll
great
give I'll
opponent.
give him credit for the opponent last night, but it's not like he's sort of. Do you know what I mean? He's been all these top level fighters haven't been able to do anything with him. I mean, he's generally I don't know. To me, I see him as a bit of a cherry picker. In terms
I
of
can't,
him
I can't,
saying he's
I
going
can't
to
call
fight,
him a cherry picker because you got to look at the 2 year layoff, and he came back and took the fights that was there for him. You know,
well, what? But like the fight that he went for, I mean, okay, he sort of did it this, but that when he went up to 104, I suppose it was an opportunity for him to win a belt. But
I mean, Lipnick
you know
gave
what
him
I
a
mean?
hell of a fight. Lipnick gave his
Instead
ass
of
a
fighting
fight.
Linares, who was the number one in the division, he went up to pick on like the weakest belt holder at light welterweight,
No,
and then
trust me,
came
Mikey,
down.
won, Mikey won the Linares fight.
Well,
That
I
just it,
mean,
it,
he
it didn't
didn't
fall
make it.
through.
Well, I mean,
Negotiations fell apart. It got to make sense on both sides. It got to make sense on both sides. That's all I'm gonna say.
okay, well, I don't know, but the fact is, he didn't, and he could have done, but he didn't.
True.
He went up. He went up to like welterweight, like the minute like Crawford left.
Oh,
You know
no
what I mean?
doubt.
He
I
was.
thought I thought I thought he ducked Crawford as well when he first came to the game. Man, I know he ducked Crawford. I know it. Crawford is a different animal. Yeah, he ducked Crawford.
Yeah,
That's why he trying to.
yeah,
He think
yeah.
he
I mean,
got
he
something.
basically.
He think he got something in Earl, but he ain't never called out Crawford name, even though Crawford was top ranked.
No, but that's the thing. That's why I'm not sure how serious he is, mate. Because he was saying before that he wanted to fight Keith Thurman. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Nothing
But
happened.
now,
He
but
doesn't.
now he bagged himself in the corner. He bagged himself
Yeah,
in the corner
okay.
because now, if he don't fight Earl, he go get gone off on, and we go tear his ass up because you use Earl's name for publicity when you got all these people riled up. So like Earl say, if he beat Robert Easton, we go check his temperature. He said it after the fight. He mentioned it after the fight. They showed Earl after the fight. Earl was at the podium. They asked Earl about it. He said Mikey Garcia went to Al Heyman himself. You know, Mikey Garcia went to Al Heyman before Earl went to Al Heyman. They say, Earl, do you think Al will let this happen? He say, for sure, man. We already talked about it. Mikey talked to him. I talked to him. I think that's tied and locked in for December. I think it's locked in.
Okay, MBT saying it didn't come through because Garcia wanted Lipinex. Linares wanted Garcia. Yeah, I agree with that. He said he also ducked Gamboa at 126.
I don't know about the Gamboa. I like Gamboa was my guy back then. You know,
Yeah,
Gamboa. But I don't think Gamboa would have beat Mikey back then. Even though Gamboa was one hell of a fighter on fire. You know, there was Gamboa, Lopez, Mikey, Corcion, the Filipino. It was a nice little rage back then at featherweight. But I still picked Mikey Garcia to beat Gamboa back then. It would have been one hell of a fight. But one thing Gamboa do, he get too wild on records. I still think he would have got wild on records against Mikey. I still think Mikey would have caught him.
That's what I said about like Mikey Garcia. I mean, he used to say, "I want to fight Keith Thurman." And everyone was like, "Oh, well done, mate. Give him a pat on the back." Like, never did it. Never like did anything to actually make it happen. But just sort of, do you know what I mean? Just sort of said, "I want to do it," and I don't like that kind of style. So it seemed like Errol Spence. That's why, if he's going to talk about it, that's why I'd like to see it happen. If you're going to say you want to fight, okay, let's see it then. Otherwise, just shut up. Basically, people are like giving him a pat on the back. People are giving him a pat on the back for like saying that he wants to fight Errol Spence.
Before the fight got signed.
I believe that when I see it.
Okay, I get you.
I think potentially now, like you say, he might have sort of talked himself into the corner. He might have just sort of thought the same thing. Oh, Mikey, you're such a big man, blah, blah, blah. But now he's like, yeah, actually, let's do it then. And now he's like, well, you got to back it up.
Got to back it up. You see, his brother afraid of it. His daddy afraid of it. His nephew's afraid of it. But guess what? He want this challenge. He go up. And everything he did, we go get our payback. And Earl go tear his ass up.
Yeah.
No other ways around it. No other ways around it. Yep. I got him getting stopped inside 8 rounds. And I got Earl just walking him down, man. I got him just like Mikey is fundamentally sound, got good pop. But yes, he got enough pop to maybe catch Earl with some things. But I don't see him hitting Earl with nothing that's going to really hurt him. That's going to make him stop coming with the pace. Because, Mikey, you're not big and physical as Kell Brook. I don't think you hit harder than Kell Brook. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, I salute him.
Do you think he's more skillful than Kell Brook?
I probably notch him. Yeah, I probably give him a notch on skills from Kell Brook. You know, I probably give him a notch. Kell Brook is a skillful fucking fighter himself. He can move. He got jab. You know, no, I think Kell Brook got more head movement, but I just think Mikey more fundamentally sound. You know, he stick to what he do best. Kell Brook, another one that stick to what he do best, but Kell Brook can get outside of what he do if you force him to do what you want him to do. He'll go along with it. Like against Triple G, he gave up in that fight to me. He just tried to slug it out, knowing it was a matter of time. With Earl Spence, Earl made him fight in spots where he didn't want to fight. With Mikey Garcia, I think Earl gonna make him fight in spots that he don't want to fight. But I think Earl tried to stay more fundamentally sound than Kell Brook.
Kell Brook is, for me, he's like one of the most underrated fighters around. I mean, he obviously had like a pretty uninspiring record. He hadn't fought that many great people.
I mean, you got to look at the injury. The injury stopped Kell Brook from great names as well. You know, the injury stopped him from great names as well because he supposed to fought Devin Alexander, Keith Thurman. You know, those fights supposed to happen, but they never happened.
And Danny Garcia, they didn't want anything to do with Kell Brook. Like, no one could tell me anything different.
Yeah, Danny Garcia wasn't going to fight him. I remember him and Diego Chavez supposed to fight. That would have been a hell of a fight. People
like that, yeah, they would have done. Like, Devin Alexander would have fought him. But, like, in terms of like, the top champions, obviously him being in England with, like, and that all that whole workweight scene being in America, he didn't really get much of a look in. So, basically,
I mean, when he came and beat Sean Porter, he got a lot of recognition when he beat Sean Porter, though. He did. The American people, we thought, he showed he was somebody.
Yeah, I remember then he lost the momentum, didn't he? Obviously got stabbed and then...
Yeah,
but for me, I don't really see how Garcia is more skillful than Kell Brook, to be honest. He's certainly not as physically strong and, like, powerful or tough.
Exactly.
So I don't really see... I mean, I don't really see Mikey Garcia being more skillful than Errol Spence, to be honest with you. People are saying, it's literally sort of like skill against brawn. I mean, I don't really see it like that. I mean,
I think Earl is the faster, stronger man.
Both skillful.
and
This Errol
technical.
Spence
Yeah,
is just like basically much stronger and tough, more powerful.
yeah. Like the body
I haven't
shots is
really
gonna turn Mikey
seen.
ass up.
I haven't really watched. To be honest with you, I haven't seen like all of Mikey Garcia's fights. But has he got the same kind of? I don't know. Like Errol Spence has got serious will to win. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
He's a
yeah,
real.
Mikey got the will to win. Like I say, man, Mikey is a 4-time world
Like,
champion. Regardless of what anybody say, he's a future Hall of Famer. He's a dog. To me, he got heart. He's a killer. Pound for pound, fight in the world. The thing, what's going to happen with Mikey and Earl Spence is Mikey is going to come out and try to fight early on. He's going to come out. He's going to try to gain some respect from Earl to where he's going to try to keep the jab out there and move and use his angles and turn. But what he don't know is when Earl steps side on you, when Earl cut the ring off and step to the side on you and cut that angle off and fire back on your ass, it's gonna really catch him. He gonna really see that he fucked up. He gonna find out he fucked up. As soon as he try to take that angle, Earl sidestep and catch him and hit his body, and he find out how strong Earl Spence is, he gonna know he should have listened to his daddy and listened to his brother. I salute him, but yeah, it's gonna get bad for him, man. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm not gonna play it around the bush. Earl Spencer's gonna beat his ass. That's what it's gonna be.
yeah, definitely. He's quick. I mean, the only advantage that he's got is that he's going to be quicker than people he's used to fighting. And obviously, Errol Spence is going to be slower than people he's used to fighting. So he's going to sort of see, a lot of the punches coming and stuff like that. But it doesn't really matter. Like the way he fights, he's just going to basically, like, sooner or later box you in and
Yeah,
force you to, like,
that
cage.
pace,
There's no
man. You
escape
got you
from
got to
it.
fight at that pace. Yeah, there you go. And no escaping. And
Even
Earl cut the
Mayweather,
ring better than
like,
anybody.
they say it was like obviously it's like sparring and stuff. I mean, people would say even Mayweather like found it difficult to really like stay away from him for long enough. Do you know what I
Listen
mean?
here, bro. Listen here. My guy, Cortez Bay, Mickey Bay, older brother who Mayweather got rid of. Like he said, Earl did he seen a lot of spawn from Mayweather. He said Earl did the best he ever saw going up against Mayweather. He said it was tick for tat, never gave up, and Earl made Mayweather get out the ring. You understand? He made Mayweather get out the ring. Like Earl didn't stop. Mayweather said what he said to him. He called him a bitch. He said, "Who?" You know what I'm saying? He said, "We can go to somebody on their back pocket." Earl got back in. They went hard. And he said, "What happened?" Mayweather just got out the ring. You know, he knew he had a fight coming up. Earl would have fucked his ribs up or did some damage to him. And don't get me wrong, Mayweather was giving it back as good as he was taking. But fighting that young, strong kid, yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Bit like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Do you ever hear the story of Tyson Fury about the sparring with Joshua?
What supposed to happen? Did he supposed to knock somebody out or something?
Tyson Fury, you can look, probably on YouTube. He said he was basically like Tyson Fury was a young pro. They're a similar age. I think Tyson Fury was like maybe a year older, or something. But Anthony Joshua was amateur at the time. Tyson Fury had about sort of, I don't know, maybe like 8 fights or something. But he was like quite good on the sort of British scene. And he said Anthony Joshua came in to spar with him. And according to Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua just came out and basically just beat the shit out of him, like for the
Hell
first
yeah.
round. Tyson Fury was like, fucking hell, this bloke's good. So then, like, he came out into like the second round. He said he came out, hit him with an uppercut. He said if he'd been like David Price, he probably still would have been unconscious.
Oh
He said,
shit.
like, and he sort of slowed him down with a couple of body shots. But they had a few rounds, and he's like, this Joshua kid is fucking good. He said he's like the best amateur heavyweight in the country, like by a million
And
miles.
he
Still on
proved it.
obviously now when Tyson Fury says what he says about Anthony Joshua, like I know it's bollock. I know he knows how good Joshua is, really.
It's business wise. It's business wise. You gotta think about it. Anthony Joshua took his thunder. You know, he took his thunder. He the number one
Yeah.
heavyweight in the UK right now. When that was Tyson Fury reign, you know, he got his belts. So it's like shit, you beat the person I beat, but you got more recognition than me. So he gonna feel that way. But that don't mean he don't respect him in the inside. Like if that was the fight, and if Joshua was to knock his ass out, because I like Tyson Fury. I think he get knocked out by Wilder and Joshua. But if Joshua was to knock him out, I think he'd show his respect and really say how good Joshua is after that, man. I really do.
But it's like the similar sort of style, isn't it? Like him sort of coming in as an amateur. He's got that. I see the similar kind of attitude in well, just very like kind of I don't know, no nonsense, just really kind of dedicated. But yeah, what other fights were there on that card last night? Any other interesting ones?
Oh, we had the Ortiz fight. Then it was the kid Mario Barrios. He up and coming. You know, I think Mario Barrios is junior welterweight, a good fighter, man. They try to compare him to Mikey Garcia, but is light years away. But he's a good fighter, man, up and coming. But I want to talk about the top rank card, man. Um, my guy Masayuki Ito. You know, he beat Christopher Diaz, the Puerto Rican. He was a hot prospect. Puerto Rico was supposed to be the next big thing from Puerto Rico. They fought for the vacant WBO junior lightweight belt that Lomachenko vacated. You know, and man, that Japan had no he had no amateur fights, no amateur fights, zero. I think Christopher Diaz had 130 amateur fights, if I'm not mistaken, maybe more. Man, when I say they went to war in that ring, and um Masayuki put them hands on Christopher Diaz, but Christopher Diaz gave him back. He dropped Christopher Diaz. One hell of a fight, man. I want everybody to watch that fight because that was a fucking championship fight. That's how you win a belt. That's how you win a vacant belt. And it was a great fight. They went back and forth, and I just want to give that kid, some shine because he said he never thought in a million years that he will become champion. Like I said, I follow him on Instagram. He was at 1,000 or something subscribers. Now he had 2,000 or something. So it's gonna shoot up now that he's the champion. And it changed his life, man. He made history going down in the history books as a WBO champion for the rest of his life. No matter what, nobody can take that moment away from him. His name is Masayuki Ito. Masayuki man. One hell of a fight. Salute to him. And he deserved it, man. Now he made himself a big dog in the junior lightweight division. Javante Davis, the winner Tevin former Billy Dibbs, and Miguel Burchett. The Sharks will be coming for him. But he at the top now. He made himself relevant. Shouts out to him, man.
Yeah, you put the name in the comment section after so people can see it.
Yeah, I don't even know how to get to the comment section, Sean. I'm on my phone.
No, not for the one once it's uploaded, because then it will be in the.
Okay, yeah, no doubt.
All right, well, before we go, then I just want to quickly talk about this because I saw an interview yesterday with Tony Bellew talking about Usyk.
Oh, Usyk, man, that's one hell of a fight, yo.
Yeah, it looks like he's up for that, and I reckon at first I didn't think Bellew would be up for it, but I reckon he is now. I reckon he's thinking that the money's going to be good. I reckon he's not really going to get a big fight at heavyweight, not one that he wants anyway.
I mean, legacy-wise,
it's an opportunity for him. I don't give it much chance of winning, but it is an opportunity for him to become undisputed. How many people get an opportunity to get undisputed with just one fight?
Exactly.
I mean, Usyk's done work, so now all he has to do. Well, I say all he has to do, but he just has to have one fight, and then potentially he could retire as undefeated cruiserweight champion. And else he's going to get a lot of money for it. It'll be in the UK as well, no doubt.
I look at that fight, man. One hell of a fight. Yeah, I like it. But I say this: Andre Ward just posted on his Instagram, boxing. I mix you. He say he missed boxing, so Andre Ward can come back and fight Usyk. But Bellew and Usyk, that sound like a fight that probably get made, man. Like I say, Usyk call out Bellew. Bellew say he'll fight him. We go see what happens. I think it's one hell of a fight, man. It's one hell of a fight. Like I say, Bellew is not a heavyweight. You know what I mean? You got to fight certain heavyweights. So him coming back to cruiserweight, his natural weight, you understand, his natural weight where he is a dog, taking on the new king, Bellew never lost his belt, so come on down, take on Usyk, the undisputed champion. It's going to be one hell of a fight. A lot of recognition there, like I say, the payday, it's going to be okay. I ain't going to say it's going to be the biggest, but if you take out Usyk, man, Bellew's gonna be one of the hottest fighters, and he going on the pound for pound list. Because I do got Usyk on my pound for pound list after becoming undisputed. Bellew win that fight, he on the pound for pound list and put himself at the top position as one of the best fighters in the world. You understand? And he can move on. But Usyk, one hell of a fighter, man. One hell of a fighter. He can fight his ass off. But with him, I don't see the power, man. I don't see the power that Tony Bellew carry. I don't see that. So. Yes, he got boxing skills out this world where he can stand on the outside and try to box your damn head off. But with somebody like Bellew who got a heart that can bring it to you, if he can get in there and get to the body and get in the inside, he got a damn good chance. I lean towards Usyk because of the boxing, but I'm going for Tony Bellew. I lean towards Usyk to win, but I'm going for Tony Bellew. It's a great fucking fight.
I think Usyk wins pretty comfortably, to be honest. I'd be quite interested to see it, just because Bellew's kind of surprised me in the past, and I don't really see obviously that many other people for him to fight at cruiserweight right now that'd be more credible. but I don't really give Bellew much of a chance, to be honest. I think that I don't really see what advantages he has. I think Usyk's quicker than him. He's more skillful than him. He's got a better boxing IQ than him. Younger than him. Probably physically stronger than him by the looks of it.
Yeah, he a big boy. He a big boy.
I don't really see. I don't think Bellew's probably does hit as hard as Bellew. He's got a different style, doesn't he? He doesn't sort of. But I don't really see what Bellew does better, to be honest.
I said that shit against David Haye, man. And Tony Bellew came in there. He could force you to fight his fight. Because Tony Bellew is not. I'm gonna tell you this. Tony Bellew is not going to be that Russian. You know, he's not going to be. What's the guy name? And I like him.
Garcia.
Garcia. He's not going to be Garcia. He's not going to wait.
He's not as good as Garcia, I don't think.
No, not. I'm not. But that's not my point. The thing is, Garcia waited, and he was just acceptable to the bop bop bop, and he turned him like he kept going to the right. Usyk catching with a combination, boom boom bop bop, move to the right, boom boom bop bop, move to the right, turn him. I don't think like Bellew was going to get in there and dog it out. Like you got to knock Bellew ass out to make him stop, and that's what I like about him. And Usyk is going to have to show power in that fight. If Tony Bellew can get in the inside and make it a rough and tough fight and force him to fight, like you're going to get hit. We know that for a fact. He's going to get hit. But if he can get in there, man, and rough him up and try to make it a rough and tough fight, Usyk going to have to show us that he's built like that. He's going to have to show us, you know. But I do lean towards Usyk to win. But I do give Bellew a shot. I'm not counting him out. I give him a shot.
I don't count him out, but I give him very, very small chance.
20% chance. You give him a 20% chance.
If that, to be honest with you, mate.
God damn,
I just think Usyk is another level. Even like he beat Dave. Okay, MBT saying Usyk by destruction, but if Bellew was serious about the fight, well, hats off for life. Yeah, I echo that. He said people assume Haye was in his prime. The dude hasn't had a top win in over 5 years. Usyk coming off defining stuff. To be honest, even like David Haye in his prime.
Yeah,
against,
I know what you're saying.
Would be, if you had prime David Haye when he was before Klitschko like heavyweight, when he was
before the toe. Yeah.
No, before when he was a cruiser, when he was fighting like John Mark Mormack and like Enzo Maccarinelli and that David Haye then, I don't think would beat Usyk. That David Haye then would absolutely demolish like Bellew.
Oh, no doubt, I agree. But like I say, I can't take credit away from David Haye 2 wins over. Not David Haye, Tony Bellew 2 wins.
Yeah, I'm not taking credit. I'm just putting it in perspective.
Yes, I understand. He was out the ring. He slowed down a bit, but Bellew, like I say, that's his style. Regardless, like he's gonna fight that style that he fought David Haye with. That's his style, and I'm just comparing the styles. So when I look at Tony Bellew's style, I feel like he can get Usyk because Usyk like this. If you let Usyk relax, he's gonna outbox you all fucking day. Like that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna outbox. He's not gonna take a chance if he can outbox you and win. You know, so if you can get in there and rough him up and show that, make him. Now I'm not saying Usyk don't got dog in him, but if you can get in there and make him prove that, like I know Tony Bellew is gonna do. Like if he's gonna beat Tony Bellew, man, it's not gonna be a shutout. Tony Bellew not just go sit there and let you shut him out. He'll get dirty with your ass before he let you do all that. You know, so I just see Tony Bellew coming in and trying to dog it out, like getting in there and trying to, I'm gonna take you to school, kid. You're going to have to beat me, son. You're really going to have to beat me. I'm not going to fall short. It's not going to happen, son. Yeah.
I'm the number one cruiserweight in the world.
I didn't lose my belt. I got to go home to me missus. I'm not going to me missus and me kids, knowing I didn't give it all I had. It's not going to happen. I like Usyk. The guy's a killer. But I got to show him. And I'm going to show him. Yeah, I like David. I like Tony Bellew.
I'll say one thing for Bellew. His confidence is at an all-time high. I mean, to the point where he's basically just completely deluded. Not saying that's a bad thing, because obviously you need to be a bit deluded, don't you?
Exactly.
Like he reckons that
all boxers are deluded. He should have been punched in the head.
He reckons that he hits harder than Tyson Fury. He reckons that he was like by far the best cruiserweight like when he left. I mean, he reckons that he thinks a lot of stuff which like most people disagree with. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, what you got to think.
He's going to go in there. Yeah, you have, but like sooner or later when you get in there, like the reality, like I can go in there and think that I'm sort of one of the best footballers in the world, but that doesn't mean that like Real Madrid are going to sign me. You know what I mean?
The
he's
thing is, though, that's
he's
his
going to go in
profession,
there.
though, Sean. That's his profession.
Is it okay? It's a bit of a stupid example, okay, but still, he's going to go
Yeah.
in there against Usyk, and he might think, oh, I'm literally like, I'm going to school him as simple as that. But after like a
Uh
couple of rounds, he's going to realise
huh.
basically this bloke's just much better than me. And if he
Uh-huh.
starts bashing him up hard, you saw against Adonis Stevenson, he didn't exactly have this like sort of, indomitable spirit that he thinks he has. I mean, he talks
That's
a
true.
good game. I mean, he don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he doesn't to a certain extent, but he didn't exactly show that in that Adonis Stevenson fight, did he?
No, he didn't.
So
He got caught.
he got caught, but also he got sort of intimidated. He fought quite timidly as well, and he wasn't
That's
like
true.
he says, "Oh, like, I've got no quits in me, mates." And I'm sure he has it like to a certain extent, but he kind of, I mean, he's got his limits, and I think when he fights against Usyk, if he fights against Usyk, he's going to find out pretty soon that he's just overmatched in every department. I'm not saying he'll then just sort of quit or anything like that, but I see it being a sort of one-sided, either a one-sided beating or just a one-sided schooling. Probably both, to be honest. But as
Yeah.
MBT says, if he does take it, then fair play to him.
Fair play
But
to
we'll
him. Yeah.
see. I
I
don't
think
want to see a fight against Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury will absolutely. Tyson Fury, like when he fought like Steve Cunningham, like when he's fighting someone, he says like,
right.
"Oh, Steve Cunningham." He basically like he goes, "Oh, Steve Cunningham doesn't hit as hard as me." That's a fact. Is it? Wow,
Steve
does like
Cunningham,
when
he
is
put
Tyson?
Fury ass down. He put Fury down, so you can't say that.
Yes, but he's sort of saying like, "Oh, like if Steve Cunningham could do it." So on what planet is Tony Bellew like as good as Steve Cunningham? I mean,
That's
Tony
true.
Bellew is a decent fighter. Do you know what I mean? But he's no
Yep.
Steve Cunningham.
I
He
can
thinks
agree.
like that he's so basically like Tyson Fury just literally sort of walked him down, body shot, just basically like this, like no respect, bashed him up basically, like because he was half the size of him, and that's what he would do to Tony Bellew. If he just easily like play with him at range, or he could just
Yeah.
get on the inside and just basically just beat him up, slap him around the ring.
Yeah. I
Tony
picked
Bellew
Fury in
thinks
that
that
fight
he can.
myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'd picked Fury like about a year ago against Tony Bellew, to be honest with you, when he was like about sort of
Right.
35 stone.
Right.
Just like now, I mean, Bellew, he was talking about fighting like Deontay Wilder at one point. He's just
You heard what he
utterly
said
deluded.
when
I
he
mean,
said he fight Wilder until he hugged him. He said when he fucking hugged me, he was
until he met,
fucking massive. He was
he
massive. Like
said
he
he
wrapped
said
his fucking arms around
he
me.
fight. He just beat David Haye, and he was obviously like hyped up, and he sort of said he'd fight Wilder like at that moment. Then he met him and thought, well, actually, nah, I don't fancy that.
Yeah.
I mean, the
See,
only
that's a
one
big fucking dude.
like Andre Ward, like that fight, I like for Bellew. I give him. He's obviously not doesn't have the skill, but he's got the sort of size advantage. And Andre Ward, like not his entire game, obviously that's ridiculous, but like a big part of his game is he's physically quite strong, and he like, do you know what I mean, roughs you up. That's one fight stylistically against one of these sort of top names that he wants to fight that I actually think could be quite interesting. Bellew could
Nah,
fight Andre.
Water beat Bellew and Usyk.
I don't think he beat Usyk. I think he
Oh yeah,
probably
he
beat
beat
Bellew.
Usyk. He beat Usyk. I think he come back for Usyk. I think he gonna come back for Usyk.
He's not going to beat. Well, I mean, he's got a chance. He's obviously, but he's not going to be able to. He fights basically mainly, doesn't he? Like kind of on the inside, like trying to
The
pose.
inside, baby.
Like,
The
that's
inside.
not going to
The
work
inside
against.
game. Oh yes,
That's
it
that's
is. Because
mate.
War not to work his way in. That's the best thing about him. Dip
He's not
down,
strong enough.
jab, jab. Bring your ass here.
He's not strong enough, mate, to do it.
Kovalev thought
He's
he wasn't strong enough neither.
yeah, but Kovalev's not. Kovalev's like a light heavyweight. Usyk's much bigger than Kovalev.
That's true. That's true.
He wasn't really able to do it. Kovalev he did it in the second fight. He kind of that was a masterful performance. I'll take my hat off towards that. That was brilliant. The first one, he wasn't really able to do it, was it? It was like it was a close fight, but then you
Yeah.
saw the difference when he was at super middleweight. He was like Carl Froch. Carl Froch's a physically strong super middleweight. Carl Froch, Andre Ward was basically like manhandling him, out
Yep.
muscling him, pushing him around. I think that's why Carl Froch is so angry about that fight. If
Oh
if
yeah,
he'd
he is.
if Andre Ward had like sort of no, like messed around, like sort of out jabbed him on the back foot. I think Carl Froch could have taken that, but the fact that he
Carl,
just sort of
yeah.
physically
Carl
pushed
Fox
him
also
around,
playing that
that
beautiful one.
really
Come
got up
on,
his nose.
Carl. Carl, come on.
So
That's
you could
funny.
you could see Andre Ward doing that at super middleweight, and you could see he was physically very strong. That's like one of his main attributes. When he went to light heavyweight, okay, he's a little bit older, but you could see it wasn't quite the same thing. So for him to go up to cruiserweight, I don't see it like against. I don't think all that sort of roughhousing, physical stuff is going to work. I'm 90% sure it's not going to work. I'm not saying that's all he's got to his game, but that's
No,
a big
I was
part of his
about to say
arsenal.
he got so many elements to where he can bring it on Usyk, and I got him beating Usyk, and I got him beating the other guy. I think that's a good fight.
He beat.
It's a
No,
good
I can't
fight.
see him beating. I'd like to see it. I'd definitely be very interested to see it because, like, if anyone can like surprise me in a sort of stylistic matchup where I don't think then it's someone of that quality. Do you know what I mean? But
I mean, it got to be something interesting
I'd
to
like to
bring
see
Ward back.
value in the UK. That would be I mean, he's obviously fought all his fights, as far as I'm aware, in America. So the
Except when he,
UK, he's got a lot of fans over here. He's been over here before. People like him. He's got that sort of character that people like. So I think him coming over here would be quite a good experience, and quite a good thing to have on his
resume.
CV. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
His resume, yeah. So to fight, most people who come over to fight against like an English fighter in a stadium get quite a hostile reception. You know what I mean? I don't think he would, to be honest. I think he'd get quite a good reception. I don't think
Yeah,
he'd get
that's
like
true.
like Errol Spence. Everyone liked Errol Spence. Like the character, people liked him. He's a nice bloke. There's nothing really to dislike about him. But
Only
because
to
of like,
fight night. They liked him
but
until
yeah,
fight
but
night.
because of but then he got a hostile reception because of the sort of circumstances behind it. But I don't think
Yeah.
Andre Ward would, to be honest, because he's a bit more. He's kind of older and he's more.
Yeah, like he's
Spence was
seasoned.
sort of coming up, wasn't he? He's someone you sort of respect him
Yeah.
as a legend. You know what
You
I
can
mean?
say he earned this respect from the UK people.
Yeah, he just sort of come over as like this is someone who's a bit of a legend in the game. Now he's coming over. You pay him respect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, like the crowd will get behind value, but I think it'd be a good one for him, a good move for him.
When Ward came over after he beat Kovalov, they
Yeah,
showed him
because people
nothing but
sort of
love. They
criticised him in
showed
the
him nothing
past,
but
haven't
love.
they? Saying that you
Yeah.
people have criticised him, say, oh, he doesn't fight in like sort of outside California and blah blah blah. To
Yeah.
go against Bellew, I think that would be great. I'd love to see it.
I love to see it too. I love to see
Good
him
as
come back and fight Bellew. Bellew was over to that fight too. Bellew want that fight.
yeah, of course he does. Yeah, anyone who's basically like sort of inactive or possibly injured, Bellew wants. I mean, David. He admitted that he wanted to fight David Haye because of all the injuries that he'd had, and he knew that his body had broken down. He admits that he wants to fight Tyson Fury because he's been off for like 2 years, 3 years,
Yeah,
and he's
he
like
said he
sort
been off for
of.
so long. I can take advantage of that. Yeah, I heard him say that.
He's just taking the piss, isn't he? I mean,
Right.
I don't know whether to sort of respect his honesty or just sort of have contempt for his attitude. I don't know, like a bit of both, really. But
It's all about timing, baby. Catch him at the right time. Catch him at the right time and beat their ass.
yeah,
Everybody will
that's what he's
like it.
doing, isn't it? Yeah.
But at the end of it, when it's all said and done on paper, only thing that matters is that W, and you're going down in the history books.
Yeah. Question: Swift Boxing WBSS. What do you think the third weight class is in the World Boxing Super Series? They've got they've done the light welterweights, haven't they? With because it's like Josh Taylor and Regis Progress.
Uh-huh.
Is it Progress?
Yeah,
And they've got
progress.
the bantamweights as well, haven't they?
Bantamweight. Uh-huh.
The third one.
It's
Obviously, they've
no
done cruiserweight.
cruiserweight overweight. It's
Yeah, they've
it's
done cruiserweight. They've done super middleweight.
it's the super lightweight is Regis Prograis, Terry Flanagan. It's Josh Taylor against Ryan Morton. It's Carl Rillick against Edward Trinowski, the Russian, and
Yeah.
it's Ivan Baranchi against Anthony Yigit. And then for the bantamweights, it's Ryan Burnett versus Nonito Donaire. It's Naoya Inoue, the monster who I got winning it all, against Juan Carlos Payano, and that's the biggest fight of the first round. You got TT against Mikael
Okay.
Aloyan, and then you got Emmanuel Rodriguez against Jason Maloney. Two great matchups for me. Like I like the tournaments. I really do. I like them. They got big players in there. Now
Yeah.
you're not gonna get like the bantamweights. You got a lot of big players. That's a star pack tournament right there, and I respect that. You got Maurice Hooker, and you got the other boy, Jose Rodriguez, missing from the 140, but they got other obligations. So they still gonna have to land a fight
Yeah.
with them too. But I like the tournaments.
Yeah. What do you reckon the third one? He's asking the third weight class. Have you heard
What?
anything about?
No, I don't know what third. It was the cruiserweights, it was the super lightweights, and it was the bantamweights. I don't know what third we're talking about, sir.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see. I'd like to see the light heavyweights.
Or put him in a tournament.
Yeah, light heavyweight. For me, that's a very, very strong division. You've got some.
Yeah, yes, it's strong. It's super strong. I like to see it, but it's too many promoters with that one. Well, it's a lot of promoters with these, so but we'll
Well,
see.
'cause I
I like
think,
to see it.
yeah, obviously you got the welterweights would be good, but again, there's too much sort of. I think like the welterweights, heavyweights. There's
Yeah,
too much like
welterweights.
money there.
Yeah, it's too much money. That's not gonna happen with the welterweights. I mean, I
Too many
love for it
people.
to happen. I love
Too
for
many
it to happen,
people who
but
just don't really want to be dictated to.
yeah, there's too many big names. Too many. It's too much politics. Let's just say there's too many politics in the welterweight division right now. Too many.
You got who do you reckon's going to win the light welterweight one then?
Man, I'm leaning towards Regis and Josh Taylor being at the end, but I'm leaning towards
Yeah,
Josh Taylor, man. I feel like Josh Taylor got the most skills out of everybody. I think Regis got the most power. My sleeper though is Relic. Relic is one hell of a fighter. You know, Relic is one hell of a fighter, so he my sleeper pick. But I'm gonna lean towards Josh Taylor taking it all for the light. I mean the super lightweights, and for the bantamweights, I got to give it to the monster man Naoya. That's my guy, the Japanese, one hell of a fighter. But I think TT be on his ass. But I got Naoya being the winner of that fight. I mean that tournament.
yeah. He looks an absolute beast, doesn't he?
Yep.
I like Tete as well.
Yeah, I like Ted too. That's why I said I think he'll be on it. I think that's the super fight out of there. But the first round, Payana is one hell of a fighter, man. He's a fucking former champion. Him and man, my Olympian brother Rashid Warner had two great fights. But Payana, after that fight, he won the first one, lost the second one. But the fight after the one he lost, man, his skill level, I had to record that fight. His skill level is just so superb, man. And that is a test for the monster. And I can't wait to see that fight, man. That's one hell of a fight. The monster versus Payana, Naoya versus Payana. It's gonna be one fucking fight.
Where's he from? Guyana.
Payana. Is Payana? Let me see. I think he's from I want to say the Philippines. Payana is from or the Dominican Republic. He's from Dominican Republic.
All right. Shout out
Man,
Dominican Republic.
if you get a chance, check him out. Check him out. Juan Payana. Juan Carlos
Yeah, I'll check
Payana.
him out. My
Man,
bird's girlfriend's
skills.
Dominican. I'll try and support him.
Skills out this world.
Payana.
Payano. Payano. You know, my
Oh,
speech
Payana.
kind of my speech a little country, man.
Yeah, light heavyweight would be amazing. Yeah, like for me, I think light heavyweight would be the best one. I think that right now, I mean, you've got a lot of good weight class, haven't you? But that
Yeah.
one, you've got. In terms of like, we've got a couple of people coming up. Buatsi for me is the best. Like in terms of talent, got Anthony Yard, obviously looks good, but maybe after about.
I don't think Anthony Yard will join the tournament though. You think he'll join the tournament?
Nah, no chance, mate. He's not. He doesn't even want to fight at British level at the moment,
Right, he's still
or at
working
least
on
his
his
team does.
skills, and I can respect him for that. Oh no, it's his decision. I saw him when they tried
No,
to get him to fight. What's his name? They tried to get him to fight the champion. He like, hell no, I ain't
well,
rushing into that fight.
well, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. He doesn't want to fight Kovalev, but like the fact that he doesn't even want to fight like
The
domestic
British
level.
champion, right?
He basically like in Brit. He basically he didn't want to fight. I'll just say he. I'm not blaming him personally for this. For his team. Um, what's his name? Jose
Babe,
Burton didn't want to fight. Jose Burton pulled out of that one. Pulled out
man,
of that purse bid. Didn't want to fight Callum Johnson. Doesn't want to fight Joshua Buatsi.
I
Frank
think
Buglioni, they wanted to fight. So basically, Buglioni's like British level. They were happy to fight him. None of the others. So that's
I
like
don't think he
Callum
want none of
Johnson,
Bawasi.
Buatsi.
He don't want none of Bawasi. I like
No,
Bawasi, man.
Buatsi's he's a real talent.
I think
I
he
think
world
like
class. He world class to me.
yeah, he's ridiculous. Buatsi. I mean, he's like Olympic silver medalist. I like Yard, but he's not. I don't think he's going to beat Buatsi. I think I'm close to beating Buatsi. Callum Johnson actually going to be fighting Turbiev. So yeah. All right, mate. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we
No,
call it a day?
I think we hit it on the head. Hit everything on the head.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've got. I don't think there's not much going on next week, is there?
Next week, August 4th, yep, we got Andre Berger going up against Devin Alexander. We got, if people don't know, Peter Quillen going up against Jalen Love. And we have Marcus Brown, the Olympian, going up against this guy. I forgot this guy's name. He's Puerto Rican, though.
He's another light heavyweight who looks like he could be a bit of a player.
He's about to fight Kovalev, but he pulled out for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, well, all right, then we'll leave it there, then, shall we?
Yeah, we could.
All right, then, mate. Well, good to have you on again.
Oh, no doubt. I just want to say this. Shouts out to the UK, man. You know, Monnie Brown loves the UK, man. You know, that's my second place. You know, y'all follow me, man, at Monnie Brown TV on YouTube. Follow me at Monnie_the writer, MONNIE_the writer on Instagram. And, man, we do this for y'all, man. Shouts out to the UK. Peace out. Y'all have a good one.
Down, mate. Speak to you soon, bruv. Thanks everyone for watching. Everyone in the chat. NBT 78, Swift Boxing. I think that's everyone.
No doubt. Shouts out to 78, right. NBT, Swift Boxing.
Yeah. All right. Nice one.